Yeah.
Okay, so are we good to go?
Are we
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
This is the
This
second
is the
part
second
of
part
the
of the
career
career
conversation
conversation.
with myself, Mo Oladapo, and Dami, the leadership and career coach. And we're so excited to bring you the second part because we started last week and we looked at the foundational block of building a successful career. I did that part. Dami was absent, but today Dami is going to take us into another level by sharing with us the four components of building a successful career. So it's like a sequel to what I started. So let me just give a brief recap for those who are going to watch this video and try to follow along this series. I said that first of all, I told you what a career means, right? A career is a lifelong vocation, a lifelong journey that will mark meaning for you, that will mark your major learning curves, and of course, will give you opportunities for growth. So I said if you are doing anything right now and it's not something that you plan to do for a long time, like a significant period of your life, and if it's not something that's going to give you opportunities for growth, if it's not something that's going to give you the opportunities to learn, and of course, create meaning for your life, and then that's not a career. So some of us were just going from job to job trying to survive. All right. So the major thing is that you must put your thought into that career that you have been envisioning, that you really want to retire your life into. It's something that has to be strategically, designed and of course consciously and deliberately built as you move towards life. And I told you that there are three very vital blocks that you need to pay attention to. Number one is the fact that you need to identify your skill. Dan is going to share with us, a little bit more about skill. You need to identify what skill you have that you need to build that career. For every career, it's always predicated and based upon the use of a skill. Okay, so second is a job. So you need to perform that skill on a job. On a job. So here I told you that there are three different categories of working. You can work as an entrepreneur, you can work as a self-employed, you can work as an employee. Whichever category that you have decided to work in, you have got to use your skill. It's your skill that allows you to perform those jobs, those tasks that you are going to achieve results. And the third block was the block of business. And here I said that we all need to have an understanding of business. Everybody's in business. There's nothing like I'm a business person, I'm a career person. Everybody is a businessman, a businesswoman. What is business? Business is simply solving a problem for the exchange of value. So where you work as an employee, you are basically solving their organizational problem with your skill, and there's an exchange. So they give you salary. And so for self-employed, you are solving problem for your clients and they're paying you, your fee. As an entrepreneur, you are selling something, you are selling a lifestyle, and then people are paying for it. So there is an exchange. And I said there are three components in that block, very important. Number one is the means. You must understand for every skill and to be able to do every job, there is a means, the resources needed to drive that skill. All right, to be able to do business with it. So for example, you're a writer, beautiful, a good skill, you know your job of writing. However, there is certain resources that you need. Number one, you need to have a laptop, because this is time of technology. We don't use typewriters anymore. We don't use longhand. We use a laptop. You need an internet. You need an internet connection. You need a whole lot of resources to be able to help you drive that skill. Second component that you must take into consideration is the component of method. You must have a methodology in the way you do your thing. That is what distinguishes you, and that is what gives you difference from every other professional out there using their skill on the job. So what is your method? What is the model behind what you do? And the final one was media. So what platform are you going to take advantage of? What platform are you going to leverage on to be able to sell your skill, to be able to use your skill, to be able to transact your skill? Everybody has got to think of this: means, method, and the medium under the business block. So three things: your skill, your job, and your business. So these were the foundational blocks I shared last week at the first part. So Dami is going to take us into the sequel, and she's going to be telling us the things that I believe should have even been thought about before even these foundational blocks. These are the invincible, intangible factors. So she's going to introduce us to that in this in this second part. So Dami, over to you.
Yes, thank you. So I'm just like he said, I am going to be speaking on the four vital components of having a successful and a fulfilling career. And those four vital components are what I actually refer to as practical components. These are things that could be the difference between us woefully failing at our career and us excelling really well in our career. And this could be the difference also between not just failing but going in cycles. And that's what I continue to find with people is when you go into a job, because you haven't taken the time to identify these components and how they relate to you specifically with respect to the job that you're pursuing, you find yourself going back in cycles, and you're back in the job markets, and you're tired of a job that you were once excited about. And so what are those four components? These are passion, skills, vision, and significance. And the first thing that I want to say about passion is, there's a lot of misconception about what passion is. And so I want to take a little bit of time here and really describe and define what passion is and what passion is not. Passion is, it's not the job that you do. And so in other words, passion is not, you're not passionate about being an engineer. You're not passionate about being a doctor. You are not passionate about being a speaker. But what passion is it is a desire to accomplish something. And so the thing that you desire to accomplish, that is what you're passionate about. So in other words, passion is not what you do, but it is what you are able to accomplish or what you desire to accomplish by the work that you do. And so it's important to understand that. And what is a really practical way to identify what it is that you are passionate about? In my life, I am passionate about helping underreached communities get access to healthcare. And so in order for me to make that happen for those underreached communities, I position myself as a medical missionary. And so when I'm asked, what are you passionate about? I don't say I'm passionate about medical missions or I'm passionate about being a medical missionary. I say I am passionate about helping underreached communities get access to healthcare.
True.
And it's important. And what I want Mo to do is also share what he is passionate about and what he's doing in order to accomplish that thing that he's passionate about.
Like yesterday I said, I'm passionate about helping people reach their goal, helping people fulfill their goal, helping people fulfill their life's purpose. And that's exactly what sometimes it doesn't really care how I do it, but I've used different vehicles. I've used the vehicle of training. I've used the vehicle of motivational speaking. I'm using the vehicle right now as a coach. Singular thing I'm driving at is to help people achieve their goal. And that's my passion, really, basically.
Yep. And so, and actually a good way to really look at this is Mo is a coach. I am a coach, but we're passionate about different things entirely. Where I'm passionate about helping people discover themselves to live a fulfilled life and get them in the right jobs. And because of that, I am a career and leadership coach. Mo is passionate about something else. He's driven by something else, but we are both coaches and we are both not passionate about coaching. We're passionate about what we're able to accomplish by means of coaching.
Very correct.
And so it's important to really, note that and really have that laid out in a way that you are able to set yourself up for the right positioning when you're looking for a job, when you're starting a business. And so I'm going to move on to the next step or the next thing. And you could, the other thing is you could be passionate about more than one thing. And so I talked about being passionate about helping underreached communities get access to healthcare, but I am also passionate about helping others discover themselves in order to live a fulfilled life. I'm passionate about helping people get in the right jobs for them. And, so obviously I am passionate about several things, and I am doing different things in order to accomplish those things that I am passionate about. So you
Yeah.
could very well be passionate about more than one thing in
More than one
life,
thing. That's true.
but
That's true.
also you may never be able to accomplish everything that you are passionate about. There are
That's the
certain
truth.
things that I am passionate about. I love leading people into the presence of God by leading worship.
Yeah.
But it is not, when I made my list of things that I am passionate about, it wasn't the top on my list. In fact, it wasn't the top 3 on my list. And so because of that, I had to have the, contentment to pursue the top 3 things that I was passionate
Top
about,
three.
because you also want to be very effective in the things that you're working at. And when you pursue every single thing you're passionate about, you're going to be a jack of all trade. You're going to be ineffective. You're going to be burned out. You're going to be expelling energy in 10 different places when you could really bring it down and narrow it down to 2 to 3 things, and be
Yeah.
effective at it and be successful at it.
That's true. That's true.
So it's important to know that although you could be passionate about multiple things, you cannot always accomplish every single thing that you are passionate about. And I'm going to go on to the next thing, which, learning, understanding our passions really helps us to identify, how we can then position ourselves. And that's what the skills will do for you, is now you're
Skills.
able to look at what skills you have. But before I talk about skills, what I want you to do, or what I encourage you to do, is grab a note and a pen and quickly make a list of 3 to 5 things that you are passionate about. So as we're talking about the skills, go ahead and make a list of 3 to 5 things that you found that you are passionate about. And you will know these things because, you're either overwhelmed with just thinking about those things, and you really want this change to happen. You really want to help improve something. You really want to help bring something to the table. And so this, the things that we're passionate about, I tell people when they say, I don't know how to figure what I'm passionate about, I'm like, it's right there in front of you.
It's right there. It's
You
right
know,
there.
it's
Sometimes,
right there.
it's even things that put you off. You get so upset about
Right.
why, it's not, and that just is an indication that you have that passion.
Yeah. I remember when I discovered I was passionate about helping people get in the right jobs, it was because I had gone the wrong direction. I had made the wrong career choices. I was being overly ambitious and wasn't really, it was about the degrees and what what I could eventually, what my potential was in terms of what I could be. I wanted to be an engineer and at the same time be a doctor.
Wow.
And and that was biomedical engineering was my pre-med, and I wanted to go to med school after that. And every time I would tell people, oh, I'm a BME major, they're like, whoa, you must be really smart. My head will be swelling, And
You know what I just thought about right now when you said engineering and doctor. Like, okay, so that means you will be engineering the needles in their butt. Oh my God.
I wanted it all.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the drive behind that it wasn't what I could do or what I wanted to accomplish. The drive behind that was the status quo. How does this, I want to be able to show that I'm able to accomplish this. And so I'm going to go on to skills. So once you've identified the things that you're passionate about, you're able to say, okay, what are the things that I am good at? One of my great mentors describes purpose in terms of what you love doing, but also what you are good at doing. So in other words,
Good at
what you desire to accomplish will really, you won't be able to do much with it if you don't have the skills to back it up. And so it's important to be able to strategically align the things that you are passionate about with the skills that you have at your disposal. So what I encourage you to do right now is, just like you made a list of those 3 to 5 things that you're passionate about, go ahead and make a list of 3 to 5 things that you are good at. And then what you want to do with that list is, you know, back in elementary school, they ask you to match things. Go ahead and match the skills in terms of relevance with the things that you're passionate about. So when I was identifying the skills I had for medical missions in order to help underreached communities, right? What I did was I made my list. I knew that one of my strongest skills was administrative, you know, things. And so that was something that I was able to match and say, okay, when I'm coordinating medical missions, I know that the administrative aspect of this, I can actually do that. And then I identified, you know, I also need some type of skill for research, but I don't really have all that skill. I have a little bit of research skills. And so, you know what? I went ahead and got people on the team that had a background in research that are able to do that. And so that's what skills helps you do, is you're able to say, what is the skill that I have? And how is it relevant, or how is it helpful to the thing that I am passionate about? And so when you take both of those things, you're able to see, okay, what am I not able to offer? Or what am I not able to do? And so your goal may be, you know, in my job, for instance, my day job, I'm a fundraiser. And my primary skill there is really developing programs, campaigns, one-on-one fundraising asks. There are certain things that I don't have the skill for. My boss has a skill for major donor acquisition, you know? And so in other words, my boss could be on the phone right now and he'll be asking for $50,000. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that skill. And I don't like, you know, maybe I will have that skill eventually when it's developed, but I'm not trying to break, you know, and burn myself out trying to get to that point. The things that I'm good at, I use at my disposal, and that's how I grow my role.
Yeah.
And so it's important to understand that this is how this works, is you identify your skills, you align it with the things you're passionate about, you're able to determine, okay, what kind of teams can I be a part of? If I were to join this team, who has something that I need, but I don't have?
Yeah.
You're able to, and that's where researching places, you know, that's where that comes in. And so now you've aligned your skills with your passion. You've identified what is it that I need, that I don't have. And you're able to identify what is it that I can actually go and pursue. So can I go back to school and can I get a degree in something so that I can actually have the skill? And so then you go back to school, you get what you need. And what all of that does for you is it gives you a visual of where you're going. And that kind of ties into our next component, which is vision. You look at your passion and you look at your skills. They are now aligned, but there are some skills that you're needing. Maybe there are not skills that you need. Maybe you have all the skills that you need and it's all aligned with what you want to do. Now you have a vision of identifying which employers or which kind of business you want to do. You're like, company ABC has this position. So I know I can go and apply there and I can get hired into that role because that's what because that's what I've discovered I can do. And it changes your entire perspective. It changes your entire approach to job search. Because now you're not job searching because you randomly stumbled on a job online and you're like, oh, I hope they like me. No, now you're going with something that's tangible. You know, this is what I can bring to the table. And so you're not going at the mercy of the employer. No, you're going to partner with the employer.
Yeah.
Now, because you've identified the things that make you. One of my favorite things to say to people is, you are a gem, you're unique. And so until
True.
you realize that uniqueness that you carry by looking at those things you're passionate about, your skills and all of those things that make you you, until you identify that, you're going to continue to be at the mercy of employers. You're going to jump and apply to 10 million jobs at the same time. And so vision is what coming up with all of those passion and skills alignments. Vision is what you arrive at. You're able to now identify, what is my way forward? How do I go about it? What's my way forward? How can I begin to pursue these things that I have now identified really matter to me? And you can now strategically begin to position yourself, network as you need to, start sharing your desires with people, start making those contacts, start making those inquiries about employers to find out about, what they have. What is the day-to-day of a job like? A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
You look at the job description and that's it. But what is the day-to-day of a job? How do you find an insider in that company? We're going to be talking in the coming weeks, recommended job search strategies. You're able to find out those things in order to keep yourself aligned to what matters, your passion. And then once you're able to, begin to see what your way forward is, you can look at employers and say, I'm able, I know that in the future, I need to be able to be in this role, doing this thing in order for me to accomplish this thing I'm passionate about. So when you look at an employer, you look at an employer from the perspective of, does this employer have what I need to grow in the direction that I'm going? If that employer doesn't have it, is this an employer that I'm willing to dedicate my next year or two to, while I try to figure that out, while I try to navigate that? You're like, okay, I know I want to work with this hospital, but I know I can't really get into this hospital right now. But there's a clinic down the road that's hiring. And I know I can get, maybe a portion or percentage of what I'm really going for out of there. And then you go to that clinic, you apply, you get employed there, you get the experience you need there, you grow there. And then you can make your transition when the time comes. But you know what you have that most people don't have? Now you have a vision. You know exactly which directions you want to be going. And then lastly,
you know exactly where you want to go.
Yes, because when you lack vision, you don't have direction. When you lack vision, you just take on everything that falls on your lap.
True.
So it's important to be able to identify, what is it that my vision, what's my vision? What do I see about my future? And how am I positioning myself daily to go in that direction? And so the last part, which I say is so important in every step, from the point of identifying the things you're passionate about, to the point of looking at how your skills are relevant to your passion, to the point of, seeing the future. This last component is a very important piece, and it is significance. And so every step of the way, as you are making those decisions, as you are identifying those things that help you to form your career path, always come back to that place where you're asking yourself, how is this thing beneficial to others? How is this thing beneficial to the person next to me?
Did you get it?
And so all the other components, They mean absolutely nothing if you cannot identify the importance of what you're doing.
Yeah.
What's the importance of what you're doing? How does it impact the
Mm-hmm.
environment around you? How does it impact the employer that you work for? What is your goal for your employer? What's your vision for your employer? Are you just working there to get paid?
Mm.
Or are you working there to grow your employer? If you can't have a desire to grow your employer, you have no business applying in that job. You have to desire helping the
Yeah.
employer grow. Just as you desire for the employer to put you first and consider you first.
Mm.
And what is your work doing for others? And we're going to end with that. What is your work doing for others? Think about it. As you're thinking about the things that you're
What
passionate
is it doing
about, the
for others?
things that
That's
you
a
want
very
to
important
change and
question.
improve on, what is my work doing for others? How is it helping others? How is it helping companies? How is it helping an industry? How is it? I had a client that had a desire to help transform health policies in
Yeah.
Africa. And so she had to, position herself and get herself a
Yeah.
job that was a regulatory affairs job within a hospital so that she can learn how to help implement policies and how to help change policies. What is your work doing for others? And so we're going to end with that, and I will let Mo go ahead and wrap this up
Mm.
for us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead and wrap it up for
The
us.
network. Okay, so when you were talking about significance, I wanted to say that you are successful when you are able to do it for yourself, but you are significant when you are able to do it for other people. That's
Right.
very, very, very key in building our career. As much as we achieve success for ourselves, we must also make sure that it transcends just beyond us and it reaches people. That's really what I will call a successful career. That it doesn't just affect you or impact you, but other people around you. It could be even impacting your that industry, that profession. But but
Right.
a career is successfully built when it goes just beyond you and involves other people. Dami, these four components, like I told you yesterday, I wished people had heard it first before they heard my foundational blocks, because they look more like the very first things people should be able to look at critically.
Yep.
Having to truly know what they are passionate about, having to truly identify their skills and match their skills. I told you I liked that exercise where people will match their skill with their passion. Thirdly, you spoke about vision. A lot of people don't have vision, determining where they want to go. Usually what happens is that people allow circumstances to direct them, right? So
Right.
at this stage of your life, you are financially handicapped, and then there's a job opening, and because you just want to fill that immediate financial gap, you go for the
Yeah.
job, even though you don't have the skills, even though you don't have the passion, just survive. You see,
Yep.
that's not really working with a vision. Sometimes, because of where you are going to, there are some very good jobs with mouth-watering packages, and then you turn them down.
Yeah.
And people might think you're crazy, but because you know where you're going to. Sometimes, because of where you know where you're going to, your vision, it takes you back to school. It takes you back to study a course, takes you back to get a certification, takes you back to
Yep.
go do your master's, because there is vision in place. And finally, significance, that we are striving not just to be successful, but they're striving to also be significant in this generation and generations to come. Awesome. I truly did enjoy this session, and I hope that the people who will watch it, they will be able to take down notes and make your notes. And if you're watching this video and you want private coaching, you want some form of guidance, beyond these videos you're watching, you can just reach out to myself, or you can reach out to Dami, send her a DM, or send her a message on our email, and then we can specialize something for you that can help you achieve your career goals, 7 career goals, according to this 7-part series so that, you can have the best, career comeback even in this, COVID economy. All right. So we're going to have the next talk session next week, Monday. It's going to be awesome. I want you guys to watch it. And we're going to talk about something new and something fresh. And that, of course, has a very huge impact on our career. Dami, say a very big thank you to you. Awesome. As usual.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Dami,
Thanks for doing this with me.
Hello. I think
Yeah.
Dami's
Thanks for doing this with me.
Okay.
Okay, then. Well, I hope you
yes,
have
Dami.
a
No,
good
I
day.
should be thanking you for coming on this journey with me. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, and I know
All right.
It's been awesome. Yeah. Take care.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the ebook.
Me too.
All right. So see you on Monday. Bye, Dami.
Yes.
God bless you.
Monday. Bye.
Bye.